Our story begins in the rural county of Elko, Nevada. Elko is known for cowboys, rodeos, and its mining industry. The booming mining industry drew the Ujlaky family to the area. The family consists of Jim and Alicia Ujlaky and their two children, James and Britney. They have lived in Elko for around a decade. Britney learned to ride horses and Jim worked as a gold miner. Over time, Jim and Alicia realized they were not good married, so Alicia moved out but stayed nearby to make it easier for her and Jim to raise their children together while living apart. Britney lives with her father where she can ride her horse daily. James described her and Jim's relationship as the best father-child duo ever. Britney's name was Gabrielle Ujlaky, but as the years passed, people called her Britney and it stuck. With graduation not too far away, Britney's eyes are set on joining the Navy as a nurse or psychologist. Between her horses, her family, and her friends, she has a wonderful life for a 16-year-old. But on Sunday, March 8, 2020, nothing went according to plan. Every other Sunday, Jim had band practice, which Britney enjoyed attending. Jim said that he couldn't wait for her witty remarks to come in. While the band was practicing, Britney was Snapchatting with her friends. Then, at some point, she told her father that her friend Bryce was coming to pick her up. As she went outside to meet up with Bryce, she told her father that she would beat him home. Bryce and Britney had met at the rodeo years earlier and became friends. Over the years, Bryce would ensure that Britney got home on time and kept an eye out for her, making her parents happy. The two would hang out after school, go to the rodeo, drive around town, and get food together. That night, after band practice, Jim got home around 7:30, and Britney wasn't there. He tried calling her phone, and it went straight to voicemail. So he called Alicia and asked if she knew where Britney was. Alicia recalled hearing a concerning tone in Jim's voice. Not knowing where her daughter was, Alicia called her phone, and she too was sent straight to voicemail. She said that her heart sank because she knew something was wrong. Britney always had her phone on. Alicia immediately called her son and asked if he had heard from his sister. James said that he hadn't. He tried to calm his mother down and told her that Britney probably went to a party. Alicia told her son to get a hold of Bryce to find out what was happening. James texted Bryce saying, "Hey, where's Britney at?" Bryce replied saying he had dropped her off at Spring Creek High School. James asked, "Who did you drop her off with?" Bryce said, "White guy, tall, had a cowboy look. I didn't really get much of a better look than that." Bryce said that he had dropped Britney off with a new friend of hers and that the guy drove a truck. Bryce described the truck as a green, ugly F-150 from the early 2000s. When James relayed the information to his mother, she panicked. Alicia didn't want to believe that her daughter would get in a truck with a random cowboy. However, she said her daughter was 16 years old and could have had a crush on a cowboy. Jim contacted the Elko County Sheriff's Office, but ultimately decided to hold off on reporting Britney missing as the family was still checking with friends. Jim said that he didn't sleep that night and called Alicia early the following day and told her to call the police to file a missing persons report.
Hello. Okay, so is it son or daughter?
Daughter.
Daughter?
Yeah.
Okay. What is daughter's name?
Brittany, you want to get a picture? Her friend that had her, I talked to him. He dropped her off at the high school down here at 4 o'clock with some guy. And I go, "What guy?" And he goes, "I don't know. She just said my new friend." Tall, white, cowboy-looking guy with a green truck. And now nobody can find her. None of her friends. Her phone's not on.
Okay.
I don't know what to do.
Has she ever did this before?
No.
Never done this before?
No. And even when she does go out and do dumb things, we get a call with some crazy kind of an excuse. You know what I mean? Trying to get her out of trouble. Nothing. Not a friend. None of her friends are best friends. Nobody can find her.
Okay. I need you to take a seat because there's some important information that I need from you, okay?
Okay.
So I know you're upset right now, but this is all important stuff that's going to help me put something in with dispatch so that we can let everybody know that she's hasn't came home.
Okay.
And nobody's talked to her, okay?
Okay.
That way, if anybody has contact with her, they can, they'll know right away, and then law enforcement will take her into custody at that time, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I have a pen right here. You can use that. And as you're filling that out, I'll just talk to you a little bit. So yesterday, have you guys tried to call any of her friends or
Everybody?
nobody's heard from her?
No.
Okay.
Which is weird. Because she's a social media freak. You know what I mean? She's always talking to people. Yesterday and the last few days, we've been in a really good lull. I talked to her FaceTime for an hour at like 1:30. Everything was just fine. She
Okay.
was just happy-go-lucky. Everything was good.
And all we know is that it was a green truck. We know nothing else about the individual.
No, the boy said it was an ugly green F-150 from the early 2000s.
Is there any other friends that were with Bryce, or it was just Bryce
I think it was just Bryce.
and she was with him, and then he dropped her off and he had no idea who this guy was?
No, and he even said it seemed sketchy. And I'm like, well, why'd you leave her? Why'd you leave her?
Hey, young man, what's your name?
James.
James. Do any of you guys have access to her social media accounts?
I don't. I've had her friends pouring through them. And her last post was at like 5:30 last night.
Did Bryce happen to mention it if it was a Nevada license plate?
Did you see that much?
No, he didn't see anything about the truck. He said he was a pretty good distance away from it.
So he dropped her off and then she walked quite a ways? She didn't want him to just pull up to the vehicle? Her request was to stop away from the vehicle so she could walk?
He said he dropped her off right in front of the school, and then she walked into the parking lot.
Okay. He described the green as being like a... What color green?
Like a darker green. And he said it was like one of the really ugly, like early 2000s, he said.
Ford F-150.
Yeah.
Her best friend
And his name was Bryce, right?
said that she's been talking to a guy named JT. She says she doesn't know anymore. She just keeps calling him JT. She goes, has anybody talked to a guy named JT? I know they've been talking a lot lately.
What's Bryce's last name?
Dickie.
Jakey. I'll try to do some follow-up and call and talk to some of these people. I'm not sure if I'm going to get any more information than you guys have got. And unfortunately, all we have is a green truck. That's a Ford. With somebody that nobody knows who this guy is.
Yeah.
Do we even know what this guy looked like? Did he give any descriptors of the guy?
Yeah, he said he was a tall, white cowboy. He said
Why would he call him a cowboy? Does he dress like a cowboy?
Yeah.
I'm going to go get this put in. I'll call and let you know as soon as this is put in. Like I said, if she has contact with any law enforcement once this is put in, then they'll just take her into custody and we'll contact you. Let you know that we have your daughter. I'll also call you back and let you know what my supervisor says and what the next course of action is going to be, okay? Okay, if you guys hear anything, I'm going to give you my card. Make sure you call and let me know so that I'm still in the loop with what's going on, okay?
Sergeant Doug Fisher of the Operations Division of the Elko County Sheriff's Office asked Bryce to meet him in the parking lot of the local high school. An officer had already spoken to him the night Britney went missing. However, Sergeant Fisher wanted to visualize what happened.
Hey Bryce.
How's it going?
Good, man. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, no problem.
So, kind of run me through it so I can understand what's going on.
Alright, so Sunday, around 11, I started texting, got a few texts from Britney, and just asked if I wanted to hang out. I said sure, get ready and stuff. Told me she could meet me at Angel Park because she said her dad was doing band practice. And then went to town, called her when I got into town on 5th, and then picked her up at Angel Park, drove around, went up towards Mountain View, asked what she wanted to do. Said she had no idea, said, why don't we just go drive around to Spring Creek since we got more room over there. So we went back over the hill, just started chatting, talked about her finishing school, how school was going for me. Kept driving around, and then we were over in the horse palace section, and my dad called me asking if I could come back home. So I told her I needed to go. Asked her if she wanted me to just drop her back off at Angel Park, and she said that she wanted me to drop her off at the high school to meet her new friend, and said her dad was going to pick her up later. So then came over here, pulled in right over there, gave her a hug and stuff, and then she got out. I pulled out and then started heading that way, and the F-150 was over there, but I didn't know that was where she was going at that time. And then got about right towards where it opens up, and then looked back, and they were both standing outside the truck. And then I got to the turnout right over there by the middle school, and then the F-150 was in motion.
Okay. So you said what was the F-150?
Yeah, it was ones that are really ugly looking, have the like side step in them.
Okay. Like that winter green, dark forest green?
Like a dark forest green.
Okay. So you picked her up at 1:30. Where did you guys go? I mean, you said you were with her for how long?
Dropped her off at 4:30, so that's three and a half hours.
I'm sure that you didn't drive her around for 3.5 hours, because that's a waste of gas.
No, I drove around for 3.5 hours.
Okay. That's all you did for 3.5 hours? That seems really odd, that you just drive aimlessly around.
That's what I do almost every day. I was in my Chevy.
What's your Chevy?
It's a 93 Chevy 1500. Sorry, Silverado.
Single cab or double?
Single. Single with a long bed.
So you just drove around, you didn't stop anywhere?
No, we didn't stop at all. We literally just kept doing circles, drove around towards the sports complex, looped back around, went through the housing section.
I just think it's kind of odd. I think you know more than what you're telling me.
I'm being honest, sir. I mean, not in a bad way, but any of my friends you can ask, that's what we do most of the time, is literally just drive around Spring Creek for hours.
Well, I'm thinking you know more about Britney than what you're actually confident. I've been doing this for a long time, and I usually can smell somebody that's leaving out something. So what are you leaving out?
I'm not leaving out anything, sir. There's nothing that I'm leaving out. You know what streaks are? For Snapchat, any chance? Okay, so it's just, if you, like, picture-wise, you can, like, text and then actually send pictures. So if you send a picture with someone for, like, 10 straight days and it starts a streak, it's kind of a dumb teenager thing, but I do it. But I had a streak with Britney for, like, 70 days, and out of habit, I still send it to her.
So, you haven't had anything from her since Sunday, and that's it? Where are you? Are you okay? Answer the phone. What time was that, Keith?
That was 6:14.
Little sis is what you're referring to her as?
Yeah, she's called me big brother since, like, my 8th grade year. We have a friend group here of around, like, 30, 40 people, and even more than that know Britney. Britney's really known all around Spring Creek.
Why's that?
She's, well, like, in the last, between, like, 3 years ago and, like, a year and a half ago, she kind of made a name for herself because a lot of people around here didn't like Britney.
Okay.
In that period, she got in a lot of fights.
Okay.
But, and then she talks to a lot of people.
So what else can you tell me about this phantom truck and dude? Like, be specific.
Okay, so it looked completely stock because it wasn't very tall at all. The windows didn't look tinted at all to me.
Were they rolled down or were they up?
Up.
Okay.
It looked decently dirty, but just like about as much as that the truck is right there.
A typical truck that's...
Yeah, typical Spring Creek truck.
At this time of year, okay.
Yeah. And then, had a silver toolbox in the bed. It had stickers on the back window, but I didn't see what any of them were.
What time was that, you said?
I dropped her off at right around 4:30.
Using their only lead, Elko County sheriffs put out a press release stating Britney was missing and that they were looking for a green Ford F-150 Another avenue detectives looked into to find Britney was tracing her cell phone, which had yet to be located. Believing she was in a life-threatening situation, police requested Elko Central Dispatch ping her phone to provide a GPS location. Britney's phone pinged on Boyd Kennedy Road, so deputies conducted a thorough search of the area. While the Elko County Sheriff's Office was doing everything possible to locate Britney, her family and friends did their searches. Britney's close friend, Selena Winkler, said the entire town was looking for a green F-150. Selena asked Bryce if he could think of anywhere no one had searched. He said the Spring Creek Mountains. Bryce then said, "I love you, I'm so sorry this happened, but I hope you guys don't blame me." Selena replied, "Bryce, we definitely do not blame you one bit. We love you too, bud. Keep your head up." Now 36 hours after Britney went missing, Alicia printed 540 flyers and had them hung throughout Elko and Spring Creek. She also made posts on Facebook asking if anyone had information. A tip line was established, receiving calls every 2 to 3 minutes. Investigators sorted through those tips to verify which ones were credible until late in the evening of March 10th, when Alicia received an alarming text message from a number she didn't recognize. The person who sent the text said they had Britney, and if they didn't receive $7,000, she would be killed. The alleged kidnappers told Alicia that Britney was sick from the drug they used to sedate her and that she would die soon. When Alicia told the detectives about the ransom demands, they told her not to reply until they could trace the phone number. The next morning, Alicia went to the sheriff's office. She showed the text messages to Detective Stake to start tracking down the phone number. The detective ushered her into an interview room while specialists analyzed her phone. Their goal was to trace the source of the ransom messages before Britney was harmed. At that point, Detective Stake received a call from Sergeant Fisher, who was outside of town in a remote area called Burner Basin. Local residents aiding in the search for Britney found something concerning and called the police.
It looks like a human head to me. Yeah, it looks like a chest cavity in the dark podium or something. We walked over here on this side. I'm pretty sure that's their drag marks there.
Actually, I'll just get you guys started on a statement so you don't have to linger around out here. How's that? If you take a couple seconds and fill out your name, information, kind of what you're doing and what you saw.
Yeah.
Probably should go down the bottom and come up, because this is probably what we're going to have to work right here.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't see any tracks going in.
That's right.
Yeah, let's go.
Drag mark right there. We got drag marks right there.
Yeah. Big time drag marks.
Yeah, so let's go down the bottom and come up the bottom of the gully.
Good idea.
Got a couple pictures on the side. Yeah.
Uh-oh. See that?
Yep.
That's not good. Oh, that's a 1092. That's a body.
Yeah.
Let's get out.
Yep.
I can see enough right now. Looks like a girl's hand. Let's back out. Yeah, that's
Yeah. I will. I'm going to get their vehicles out. We'll get the crime scene secured and call Stake. Let's go out the same way.
Yep.
We'll process the whole thing.
All right.
Hey, Nick. We got a female body. We have a female body. I don't know if it's her or what, but we have a female body out behind Burner Basin. Got drag marks and a bunch of things. So we had two guys that found them. We're getting their statements. I'll get a picture of their footprints that are going in and out, and I'll get a picture of their tread marks. Basically, she face down, pants down. She's got black heels on, like boots on. Let's we'll get tire print from them, and then also take their shoe prints because they went in there.
Okay.
For exclusion.
Exclusion purposes, yeah. Sounds good to me.
Sorry, you guys got to go through this. This is what I do.
The worst part is I know her dad.
Well, let's not assume.
The ransom demands immediately came to Detective Stake's mind. Was Britney hurt because they didn't meet the ransom demands? The detective had to get to the scene immediately, but first had to notify Alicia.
I was on the phone, okay, and I just want to let you know that we have found the body.
Alicia said that she knew it was her daughter, and that's when the panic set in.
I'm gonna pass out. Can you get me some help? Can you get me some help?
Yep,
Can you
there's
get
some
me
people. Okay.
Help! Oh my God! Give me some help! We're out!
Detective Stakes said that throughout his career, the one thing that sticks with him was the sound Alicia made. He said it was the worst sound he'd ever heard in law enforcement. When Detective Stake arrived at the scene, he first noticed the blood stain on the roadway. A significant amount of blood saturated the soil in several areas. A condom wrapper was found on the edge of the roadway. Drag marks led from the bloodstains near the road to a female body located underneath a blue tarp. The body was face down and the tarp was loosely draped. When the tarp was removed, the body showed signs of sexual assault as her pants and underwear were down at her ankles. Additional blood was found around the body near what appeared to be a puncture wound on her neck. To the north of the body, a keychain inscribed with the name Britney was located. Sergeant Fisher searched the area for any additional evidence. He located a pair of white apple earbuds hanging from a sagebrush. Upon further inspection, he noticed a used condom in another nearby sagebrush. At that time, the body was sent for an autopsy to confirm her identity officially. A phone was later discovered approximately a half a mile away from the body. The phone appeared to have been struck by an unknown object and was most likely thrown out the window of a vehicle. The mangled phone fit the description of Britney's iPhone XR. After dental records confirmed that the body was Britney, it was time to notify the family. Sergeant Fisher went to Britney's father, Jim's house. Jim said that as soon as he saw Sergeant Fisher, he knew. Sergeant Fisher informed him that they had found Britney's body and reassured him that they were going to solve the case. He stayed with Jim for a while to ensure he would be okay before leaving. Jim then called Alicia, who at that point already knew. About 10 minutes later, James opened her bedroom door. He woke up to numerous messages saying, "I'm sorry for your loss." His parents confirmed the horrifying news. James couldn't believe it. He thought they had got the identification wrong. He said that he went completely numb and felt lost. Britney's friend, Cheyenne Fry, drove to Alicia's house with the biggest bouquet she could find and hugged Alicia. In a Facebook post, Bryce said, "Yesterday we all received news that made us hit the floor. Around 8 in the morning, we started meeting up at my house to grieve and to mourn Britney's life, which was taken far too soon. That day, I had tears of pain and joy. I wish she could have seen the amount of us that came together to honor you, sis. We love you so much. Just know you won't ever be forgotten." While Britney's family and friends mourn, investigators examine Alicia's phone to determine who was behind the ransom messages. An investigator tracked down the phone number and found out it was a spoof number that wasn't located in Nevada. This, along with the kidnappers requesting gift cards as payment, led detectives to believe that the ransom demands were invalid. Alicia had put her personal phone number on some of the posts she made about Britney missing. Investigators explained to her that it was most likely a gift card scam. Detective Stake then went to the coroner's office, hoping the autopsy results would provide a new lead. Britney's cause of death was strangulation and blood loss from the neck wound. The puncture wound severed the carotid artery. Samples from a rape test kit were collected. Swabs from Britney's neck and fingernails were also taken. She had superficial bruising on her hands consistent with defensive wounds. Detectives made arrangements with the crime lab to expedite the DNA. Evidence found at the scene, like the used condom, was also sent for DNA testing. While detectives await the DNA results, their interest turns back to the cowboy driving a green Ford F-150. They searched for anyone in the area who went by JT and had a green F-150. Detectives identified 2 JTs with green F-150s, but after looking into their whereabouts, they determined that neither man was in the area at the time of Britney's murder. Detectives then scrubbed through surveillance footage from businesses near Spring Creek High School. They were looking for the green F-150 Britney was last seen alive in. The Maverick convenience store cameras captured the roadway in the direction where Britney's body was found and one of the entrances to Spring Creek High School. As they look through the footage, instead of seeing a green F-150, they spot Bryce's blue Chevy pickup truck driving by. Bryce's truck can be seen bypassing the entrance to Spring Creek High School and continuing on Boyd Kennedy Road in the direction where Britney's body was found. Knowing they had been lied to, detectives bring in Bryce for an interview. He was brought in under the auspices of sharing his phone data, but what investigators are really after is his DNA.
Just showing you the door's not locked. You're not locked in here, all right? Like I said, you're not under arrest.
Okay.
At this point, you're not even really a suspect, okay? But like I said, just because of the nature of the investigation, we gotta make sure that we do everything super thorough, okay? So I got a little bit of the story as to what your involvement was, but I'm not clear on a lot of things, and I'm just trying to do the best job that I can do. So hopefully you can
ask any question you would like.
Perfect, man. Thank you very much. First and foremost, you're how old?
I'm 18.
Okay. Like I said, you're not under arrest right now. If you think that I'm being an asshole or something like that, you can get and walk out. There are some questions I'm going to ask that you probably be thinking like, what the fuck are you asking that for? But there's a reason, okay? And I'll explain it, all right?
Okay.
And like I said, if you have any questions or if you need to clarify anything that I'm saying, because I want to make sure that we are completely clear on what's being said and how it's being said. So if you need any clarification whatsoever, please let me know.
Okay.
All right. Detective Nelson's here as well. He might have some questions as well, but
okay.
Like I said, right now, as far as we know, you're the only person that saw her alive, or the last person that saw her alive, okay?
Okay.
So she's texting you. Did she text you first? Or sorry, when I say text, Snapchat, did she snap you first?
I was just saying Snapchat so I could be specific.
Okay, yeah, no, I appreciate that.
I honestly don't remember who texted first.
Okay, that's okay. And what did she say? Do you remember kind of how the conversation went? Was it, and what I'm getting at is, I mean, are you guys in any type of dating relationship at all?
No.
No, okay. So it wasn't like, hey, let's go hang out and go party?
No.
Okay, all right, nothing like that. And so you're heading up to Angel Park, and now when you say you picked her up at Angel Park, I assume drive time from Silver to Angel, roughly 5-10 minutes?
Probably 5.
Maybe
At
5.
max, there wasn't bad traffic that time.
Okay, so meet her, and now when you say you picked her up at Angel Park, was that at Angel Park?
Yeah, right in the, when I pulled off by the Family Dollar, I don't know the name of that road. She was standing right in the middle of the parking lot on the phone.
At Angel Park?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's in the parking lot on the phone?
Yeah.
Okay, so you pick her up, and what were you driving at that time?
It was my 93 Chevy Silverado.
93 Chevy Silverado?
Yeah.
Okay, what color is that?
I'm slightly rough on the color, but I'm pretty sure it's like really dark blue, but it looks black.
Okay, all right, so darker color.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Did she say anything about anyone that she was having problems with, or any people that she was interested in, or anything like that?
We all knew she was talking to some guy that we think was in New York, but I mean, she'd been talking to him for a while.
Okay.
Besides that, and then, like I told everyone else, a lot of people had problems with Britney, but nothing that we would see with this outcome.
Sure. Well, hopefully, yeah. Okay. And now is not the time to hold back words, man. Did she have a bad reputation or something like that?
With a lot, because she used to get in a lot of fights, and a lot of people didn't like. Britney was a very straightforward person.
Okay.
And a lot of people didn't like that because she was very blunt and honest.
Okay.
So a lot of people disliked her.
They just didn't like how forward she was, and she really didn't hold back, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, all
Is
right.
it primarily females or male and female?
Male and female. We went through, kind of did like the full circle, went through over by the sports complex in Spring Creek. And then I had to go back home to my dad's house, so I asked her if she wanted me to drop her off back at Angel Park or where her dad was having practice. And then she was on her phone for about 30 seconds-ish, and then asked me if she'd drop her off at the high school to meet her new friend.
Did she give any indication, I'm sorry, of who she may have been talking to or anything like that?
No, she just described a new friend, but also, same thing, Britney was always finding new friends. I mean, she had a new best friend probably about every month or so.
Okay. Kind of explain to me, did you drop her off like right next to his ride, or how did that go down?
I dropped her off right here because I didn't know, I just pulled up to the high school because I didn't know where I was going. And then, so I got right here, and then she grabbed her keys, gave me a hug, said love you, bye, and then got out of the truck, and then, so I pulled it in reverse, started pulling out this way, and then she walked over to that F-150, and then by the time I'd gotten back out and onto the highway, the F-150 was pulling out.
All right, so you basically made a loop then, essentially?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And then heading back out towards Maverick. Okay, and so you see the green F-150?
Yeah.
No doubt in your mind, F-150?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what truck it is because, to be bluntly, they're ugly as hell. There's only one truck like that because they have that like bubble shape to them almost.
Okay. Okay.
Was there any other trucks parked over there or any other vehicles?
There was a few, but there was a softball, baseball, and FFA going that weekend.
Ah, so it was busy.
Yeah.
Did you actually see her get into the truck, or you just seen the truck leaving after you left?
Well, I saw, because I got right about here, and then cut straight across the parking lot. Saw her over at the F-150 with someone, and that was it.
So, again, I'm just asking for clarification, because the deputies told me that initially when they spoke with you, you had provided a description of someone that may have been the driver of that truck?
They kept saying I gave a description, but literally the only thing I saw was a cowboy hat. That was it.
Okay, so you couldn't tell if he was tall, short, fat, skinny, anything like that?
The hat looked towards the top of the cab, so I said that, and they took it as tall. I'm like, that's why I kind of, after that last officer, not in a bad way, but I kind of just stopped saying stuff because it kept getting twisted around, and I kept hearing different versions of what I said.
Well, that's why I want clarification.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I just want to make sure.
No, but all I saw was a cowboy hat, and that was the only identifying mark that I could make.
Okay, so he wasn't outside of the truck.
No, he got, when I was over here, they were both standing outside the truck, but then by the time I had gotten right in front of the high school on the highway, the truck was moving through the parking lot.
What was she wearing?
She was wearing, like, I don't know how else to describe it besides, like, hippie bell-bottoms. They're like leggings, but bell-bottoms.
So they're elastic, but they're
yes.
Bell-bottoms on the bottom? Okay.
They were, like, really fluorescent, like, tie-dye color.
Oh, they're pretty loud, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she was wearing a gray sweatshirt, a zip-up.
Okay. Did you see the shirt on underneath the zip-up? No. Did she have anything in her hair, or wearing a hat, or anything?
No, she had a lot of makeup over her eyes, but she always wears a decent amount of makeup.
Okay. And then she had her phone at that time too, right?
Yeah, all she had, at least that I didn't notice anything else besides her keys and her phone.
Okay, did the keys have anything on them?
It had a lanyard, but I think it was just the senior 2020 lanyard.
The high school lanyard?
Yeah, they all kind of look the same, like the gray, purple color.
Is your truck a single cab?
Yeah, it's a single cab.
Single cab. What about the F-150 that she got into?
It looked. I didn't notice any windows in the back, so I assumed it was just a single cab, but I couldn't tell if it was a crew cab or not.
Because when you pulled into the parking lot, it was facing you, and you weren't paying attention to it, right?
Yeah, it was parked straight towards the high school, so I came up right behind it.
Okay.
But I mean, they're still good, probably 40 feet between where I was driving and where he was parked.
Okay.
Did you notice on the bed if it was a step side?
Yeah, that's where one of the details that's also been getting mixed up a lot is that's why I recognized what type of truck it was, because it had the step side right in between the bed and the cab.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt on that then?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And was there anything else on the truck that stuck out?
I saw a sticker in the back window, but I couldn't tell you exactly what it was.
Okay.
Do you remember where on the back window?
I remember it was on the bottom, but I don't know if it was straight on the left corner, but it was towards the left side of the truck. Because I didn't see the right side of it at all.
Okay. All right. Anything else that you can think of about the truck that might be specific or help narrow it down?
I swore that I saw a toolbox, but I can't be 100% on that.
Sure, understood. Okay.
Because I had gotten a text from her friend Cheyenne, probably about like half an hour after I dropped her off, that she couldn't get a hold of her, but I didn't really take any concern until my brother started texting me. Yeah, James didn't text me until about 8:16.
At night?
Yeah.
Okay.
He texted me right about then, and then asked for my phone number around 8:30, and then that's when I got a call from one of the deputies.
Oh, I see. Okay, so that's how they got a hold of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I called my friends, tried to see if anyone knew where she was. I tried calling Britney. I texted her brother James. Was trying to see if I could get a hold of anyone that knew anything. My friend came and grabbed me, and then we were trying to organize like search parties and stuff, because like Britney going and doing stuff is an oddball, but Britney is the person that like will always text her dad.
Oh, okay.
So when she didn't, we got really worried.
Gotcha.
So we went out looking till probably about 2 o'clock, and then we all went home.
Gotcha. Okay. Man, you put in some effort.
Yeah. No, we were out there for probably about 6 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
She didn't leave nothing inside your truck or nothing like that?
Nothing that I found.
Have you guys ever been into an intimate relationship?
No.
No? Nothing besides hugging and just no kissing or no friends with benefits or nothing like that?
No.
So one of the things that we like to do, just to be thorough, man, to make sure that, like I said, we cross all the T's, dot all the I's. Is there any reason whatsoever, because obviously in these situations they go full bore, right? Is there any reason whatsoever that they would find your DNA on her or in her?
No, not that I'm... Besides maybe like this bag of hair or something on her jacket, there would be nothing else.
So no sexual relationship whatsoever?
No.
Okay, okay. Is there anything on your phone that you would be concerned with us finding?
No.
No, okay. Do you have any problem if we take a look at your phone just to make sure that we're good to go?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Was there anybody in specific in the school itself that she continually told no, that may have been frustrated with that?
From what I've been told, because she hangs out with a lot of people, but from what I've been told by a lot of people is that she still has yet to have sexual intercourse with anyone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Well, that's
respectable.
respectable.
Is what I've been told.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's not a girl that's considered easy in high school and she told somebody no and they got frustrated because they were told no.
Yeah. She's easy to be friends with, but not to date, no. She's...
Okay. Would you be willing to submit
Thank you.
A buccal swab just for your DNA?
What's a buccal swab?
So it's essentially just 2 Q-tips. You can do it yourself. They're a Q-tip about as long as this pin. You rub it on the inside of your cheek, and then you take the other one and rub the inside of the other cheek. We put it in a box. That way we have your DNA. It's suspected, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was some kind of sexual activity, what they're suspecting.
Okay.
Not saying that you were that person and you have no reason to have your DNA in there, but you're the last person that we know of that was with her when she was alive.
Yeah.
Basically for you, it'd almost be like an elimination, you know, kind of like, hey, this isn't our dude.
No, I have no problem.
Okay, man. Be right back with you, all right?
All right.
All right.
Bryce was let go while they awaited the DNA results. 4 days later, the results came back from the crime lab. The DNA test on the used condom matched Bryce and Britney. Swabs from Britney's neck and underneath her fingernails matched Bryce Dickey's DNA. With this new evidence, Bryce is brought in for one more interview.
Just sit down in here real quick. Can I get you anything?
Oh, no, I'm okay.
All right, I'll be right back. I'll go over this with you.
Okay.
Just so you know, everything in this room is recorded and everything like that. So.
Okay. Hey, brother.
Well, tell me about Britney. What's she like?
You're gonna have to ask a question because that's a lot. Britney is not in like a bad way or anything, but I mean,
right.
Well, what was Britney to you?
Honestly, Britney was my little sis. Like, I've known her since 7th or 8th grade. One of the closest people to me. I didn't even start calling her. I called her little sis for about the last 2.5, 3 years, but she called me big brother since probably about right after the first year that I met her, but one of the closest people to me. She was, a lot of people didn't like her for a lot of reasons, but she was very blunt and kept to who she was, even if a lot of people didn't like that. So that was why a lot of people in Spring Creek didn't like her, just because she was extremely honest. No, she was always happy. She would get in a lot of like actual fights, but then a month later she would be best friends with the person she got in a fight with. She knew almost everyone. Seemed like there wasn't somebody in this town she didn't know. But she was extremely sweet. Pretty much always had a smile on her face. I haven't met anybody that's actually like had intentions to hurt Britney.
One other question. If you could say something to Britney, what would you say?
Easy. I love you. That'd be the first thing I would say.
What about the second?
No, I'm sorry. Because I kind of blame myself for all this. Even though, well,
blame yourself.
I mean, I know that I didn't know what was going to happen, but I mean, I'm the last one that freaking saw her before she's dead. And I mean, her mom even made me promise that I wouldn't blame myself, but kind of still have a lot of regrets and a lot of stuff I wish I would have done differently that day. Because I wish I would have just taken her back to town to her dad. But told her when we were at the balloon release was the first time I saw her after it all happened. But I saw her and we hugged and I said I was sorry and kind of both broke down. And then she made me promise that I wouldn't blame myself, stuff like that. And then the whole family kind of hugged me and just told me that I meant a lot to Britney and stuff like that. So.
Now, just out of curiosity, and we promise we won't tell your girlfriend, had you ever been intimate with...
I got that question the last 2 times. Britney and I have never been intimate in any way. I mean, like, a lot of people get the wrong intentions, because, I mean, do it with all my friends, but, like, calling my female friends love and stuff like that, but that's just kind of the way I was raised in a sense. The grammar wise, but Britney and I have never had a relationship or have been intimate in any way. That's why my girlfriend was comfortable with her, is because she never flirted with me or anything like that.
Did you ever want to be?
No, not
never.
No, I never had that want or urge or anything. I literally saw Britney as my little sister.
And is there any way that your DNA could be associated with this case in any way?
No.
No. Okay. Well, I'm kind of confused about a couple things. So round 1, you pick her up at Angel Park, and then you come into Boyd Kennedy Road entrance to the school at about what time again?
Around 4:30.
About 4:30. Okay. So we got some surveillance footage from Angel Park. This is the camera, and I know, forgive me for the blurry photo a little bit because we printed it out. But down here is the time, and that was 15:20.
Yep.
I don't know what time it is.
3:20.
Oh, okay.
2 hours
military time.
Okay.
2 hours after you said.
Yeah, so it's a little bit later than what you said, so I'm just kind of confused, and I want to clear that up with you a little bit. Because that's her walking across the street. And is that your truck?
Yeah, that looks like my truck.
And there's another picture.
Yeah, no, that's my truck.
That's your truck?
Yeah.
Okay. So that shows about 1520.
I might be off of my timestamps. The only timestamp that I personally have is on my phone of what time I called her when I got on it. So
that's 2 hours.
Literally the entire time I was with her, I was not on my phone.
Do you see where?
I can see where there could be concern.
Look?
I understand that, sir.
And the other thing I'm just kind of confused about, okay? And like I said, I just want to clear this up with you. That's
Okay.
all. This is some footage from Maverick across the street. So this is some surveillance footage from the front of the store showing Boyd Kennedy Road.
Okay.
So if you look right here, you can see. Let me come over here. Sorry. So right over here.
Right there.
Yeah, right there. Oh, that's your truck right there. About.
Is it smushed together since it's so far away?
Yeah.
I think so, because I have a long bed that's on.
Yeah, so this is the Boyd Kennedy Road right here. That's your truck.
Yeah.
That's your truck going down Boyd Kennedy Road.
Entrance to the middle school and stuff is right here. That goes into the parking lot. And then there's the wrestling gym, which is right there. And then it cuts right and goes right to the middle school.
Okay.
So that's the way I went through.
That's not what you said.
No, I said I went through the Boyd entrance. I didn't.
Across from the Maverick.
Yeah.
What if I told you we had surveillance footage that appears your truck kept going out Boyd Kennedy Road?
I didn't go down Boyd Kennedy Road.
I just want to kind of clear everything up and get your explanation for this, okay? Because you seem like a decent guy. We've been sitting here chatting and stuff like that, okay? And I just want to kind of help you through this so that way we can kind of explain this stuff.
Okay.
Okay. So with these, you can kind of see from my perspective when I'm looking at this what that looks like, right?
Yeah. No, I can see 100%.
Okay.
I'm kind of in the middle. I got startled after the third cop I talked to, the one that called me down to the high school, because called me a liar about 3 times and kept asking me if I killed Britney. So
Somebody asked you if you killed Britney?
A deputy did.
Oh, okay.
And it honestly startled the shit out of me. And I don't want to. I know I'm only been 18 for a little bit now, but I know I'm 18 now, so even changing a little bit on the story isn't a big thing.
Well, it is what it is. Okay, that's why I'm trying to sort through it. Okay.
Yeah, so when he talked to me, and I went down Boyd a little bit, but not far, and then I took that first left off of the Boyd Kennedy, which goes straight back to the right to the bottom of the trailer section, and then went back to the high school, but being at Boyd Kennedy at the same time, which I'm missing it. It worried me because I didn't want him.
So
I lied because I was scared of people thinking it was going to be me, which a lot of people still do.
That's understandable.
You're the last person to see her alive.
Yeah, which honestly scares me, but I see that there's issues with me not telling 100%.
You need to be 100% honest. You need to let everything out.
So when you said you took that first left off of Boyd Kennedy, was Britney in the car with you at that time?
Yeah, she was.
Okay.
I kind of have like a set little thing of loops that I do when I get bored driving around Spring Creek. So, and that's one of the ones that I do a lot. And but being so close to being on Boyd Kennedy, and as soon as people were saying that's where she went missing, I kind of got scared.
I have one other concern.
Okay.
Okay. We located some items, or an item. Okay. Do you have any idea what that item might be?
No.
Okay. What if I told you that it had both yours and Britney's DNA on it?
What would that be?
Do you have any idea?
No.
Now's the time to be the truthful.
I'm being 100%, sir. I don't know what you're referring to.
Now, you told me before that you and Britney had never been intimate in a sexual way.
No.
Okay, what if I said I had evidence that shows that that might not be accurate either?
I'm not lying. I've never kissed. I've never had sex with Britney. Besides hugging and I've never had sex or any intimate relationship with Britney.
Okay. Have you ever watched TV and seen DNA comparisons?
No. I mean, I've watched crime shows, but haven't really paid attention to it.
So, you gave a DNA sample, right?
Yes.
Okay. We found a condom. All right. And we found Britney. And we have Britney's DNA. Okay. We have your DNA. And we have a condom.
That can't be.
It is.
Okay.
I've never had sex with Britney. I swear. I've never had sex with Britney.
Okay. So then explain to me how...
I don't know. I'm freaking out right now because I've never had sex with Britney.
Okay.
I've never had
explain
sex.
to me how a condom has your DNA on the inside and her DNA on the outside. Because that doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense, and I don't...
And you can understand my concerns that, you know, I've been truthful with you, okay? And I know,
Sure.
I know this is really stressful, okay? I can't imagine where you're at, all right? But we'll get through this together, okay? And I need you to help me help you, all right? And the biggest concern I have is you could see that we have some footage that kind of contradicts what you said.
Yes, sir.
You've got a condom that was recovered near Britney's body. And it has DNA on it with both you and Britney. Okay? And you told me that you guys had never been intimate. All right? There's
Sure.
only one way that DNA could have gotten on that condom that way.
I'm aware of that.
And you have a pattern now of lying. You were deceptive to Detective Fisher because you got scared. You just admitted that.
I admitted I was
And
scared.
your timeline doesn't match up. The other people we've talked to, their stories don't match with yours.
What do you mean they don't match with mine? Am I allowed to ask that or no?
No, absolutely.
No, you can ask.
Yeah, there's just some issues with the time, okay, and things like that. But the thing I'm concerned about right now is if you were in my perspective and you looked at all this, what would you think?
That I did it to Britney.
Okay. If you were me, okay, how would you explain the condom?
I don't know.
If you were me looking at that as a detective, what would you make of it? Okay?
Exactly what you guys are thinking right now.
Okay, because here's the thing. If I don't know what happened, I can't help you out any more past this point. I can't help you figure out the truth. Tell me the truth. Okay? We need to get through this together. And I need to hear from you what happened.
Okay.
Okay?
Wait, can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead.
Are you guys trying to get a confession with me killing Britney?
I'm trying to figure out how your DNA got on a condom on the inside that has her DNA on the outside. I need to figure out what happened with that condom.
Our job is to work as hard to prove innocence as it is guilt. If you didn't do this, we'll work to the end of the earth to prove that you didn't do this. Okay. But that requires 100% honesty on your end because the stuff we have indicates it hasn't been there.
And that's my concern. Is we've got these.
There's a lot of faults in it, and I'm aware. It was extremely odd. Britney was being literally the only time Britney was being really flirty for some reason throughout that day. So we kissed, and I had gotten a blowjob, but it was through a condom. But then after I was done, she was the one who took the condom and then thought she threw it out of the truck. And then that's
Where did that happen at?
That first road all the way down Boyd.
So,
not all the way down Boyd. Thought she just threw it out the window because she was the one who pulled it off. And then, because I had thrown the wrapper and stuff out this driver window, so I thought she just threw it out the passenger side window.
So where were you seated in the vehicle while she was giving you the blowjob?
In the driver's seat.
Okay, and where was she at in the vehicle when she was giving you the blowjob?
Kind of like bent over the bench seat in a sense, like kind of just leaning over.
Okay. And that happened about right here?
Yeah.
When I was at the scene with Britney, I found a condom, or one of our people found a condom that was near where Britney was at. And there was also a condom wrapper that was on the roadway as well.
Okay.
And that condom that I told you about was much closer to where Britney was found. And this is not where Britney was found. Okay? I just told you, I just want the truth.
I'm telling the truth. That's where it happened.
Where what happened?
Where Britney and I had, I don't know, does that count as sex? I think
sexual act.
It's a sexual act. So that is where Britney and I had sex.
Okay.
And then straight after, I went straight to the trailer section, and that was it.
Okay. Did you ever have any sort of intercourse, oral or otherwise, anywhere else with Britney?
Just the blowjob. That was besides like 2, maybe 3 kisses, and that was about it. Honestly.
Okay.
There wasn't much. It was almost didn't seem real in a sense because she literally just asked if I wanted a blowjob. It did not quite seem real, almost.
Okay. So with everything we just talked about, if you were me, what would you think about all that?
I think you guys already know what I think you would think.
And what is that?
That I'm lying about everything. I mean, I'm smart enough to know that's what you guys are thinking.
No, I think you're very smart. From the position I sit in, okay, like I said, there's only that one chance that you have with me to tell me the truth. Because so far, you haven't told me the truth. And I think we both know that.
Sure.
Okay. And the thing I'm concerned about is that everything you've told me just does not add up. Okay?
Okay.
And I think you're very smart. You know that. Okay? So, help me figure out what the truth is.
Okay.
But I need to hear that from you.
So, the, Angel Park timeline, that I didn't actually realize that I had messed up the timeline. That one I'm being 100% on. Cruise driving for a little while longer. And her texting her friend actually did happen, and she asked me to drop her off with somebody, but I don't know who it was. And he actually had met us on Boyd, and I didn't actually meet the guy or anything, but because he met us up here.
Okay.
I don't know where, somewhere over here is where Brittany and I actually had sex. I literally dropped her off with the guy literally in the middle of the road and drove off, and
It's okay. We'll get through this together. Okay? You and I will get through this together. Alright? So just take a second and then tell me the truth, okay?
Okay. Everything I've told, except mess ups on the timeline, is true. That was the exact same truck that I saw. I honestly couldn't tell you how the gun was that close to Brittany's body. I don't know how that
happened. Because Brittany was still alive by the time I had dropped her off on the road with whoever the guy was. I just wasn't thinking at all. And I dropped her off and I really just drove off. I understand that. I know what you're going to say.
And what am I going to say?
That you have to know, which you do have to know. But I'm telling you that I literally had never met this guy.
Okay.
Which Brittany gets new friends every month, and I didn't really think much of it.
You've told us several different versions. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Do you really expect me to believe that you met a guy after you guys had sex and you just dropped Brittany off with him and you don't know who that was? You're a smart guy. I'm a smart guy. Okay.
I've met him, but I honestly don't know who he is.
So I need you to be honest with me. When we started out today, I just wanted the truth from you, okay? And then the story changed. The story's changed again. The story's changed again. Okay? I need to get the whole truth, because once that line crosses, we can't go back, and I can't get that truth from you.
Didn't even know the kid was back in town. It was the Chaz Randall kid is the one who picked her up. Which I didn't even know he was back in town. So I swear it was Chaz Randall, because that kid's kind of distinguishable. But
so you're telling me Chaz Randall met you on the road? I told you.
What?
And you've known that Chaz Randall killed Britney all this time, and you're just waiting to say something? You let yourself be the last person to see her alive? You expect us to believe that I'm like, I was the last person to see her alive. I've put myself in that position, and I'm going to sit here for a week and a half letting everybody think I was the last one to see her alive when I know who the last person to see her alive is. You think we're going to believe that? You're smarter than that.
Listen, okay? This is, we can't keep coming up with different stories, okay? Because with what you just said, okay, as investigators, we're going to figure out about Chaz.
Yeah.
Okay? And if that's not accurate, where would we end up?
Back to me.
Back to you. You have told a whole bunch of cops a whole bunch of different stories.
I have not told a whole bunch of different
you
stories.
You need to trust me. I want you to trust me, okay?
Okay.
I need to hear the truth. The truth.
I know I'm kind of losing your guys' trust by the second here, and let's just be honest about that. Am I correct? I'm not meaning to stretch on, I'm just asking. But down there, I had sex with Britney, and then got done having sex, and then it got really quiet in the truck. It was really awkward, and I think we were both kind of like regretting it in some sort. And she literally just told me to just drop her off, and I didn't know where to drop her off, and she wouldn't tell me anything. And then we got right to the top of the trailer section, right to the houses, and then right up there, and then I said something that pissed her off, and she literally just hopped out of the truck when I was at a stop sign. I was freaking out because I felt like I had ruined a complete friendship over one dumb oral interaction, and then she didn't want to get back in my truck, and so we just sat there literally at a stop sign right off the where it turns back to pavement in the trailer section. Just sat there talking, and then I had told her that I would drop her off somewhere, and I'd gotten up there and tried to give her a hug, and she didn't want one, and I was fine with that. I understood. Then we got back in the truck, but then I just kept it in park because I didn't know where the hell I was going, and sat there and both just had steam pouring out of our ears because we were both upset. She just asked me to drop her off at her friend's house in the trailer section. I went down the side of the trailer section around the corner. I pulled up and then asked her again if she just didn't want me to just take her back to Elko, and she said no, it was fine. And then she had told one of her friends about what happened. I just don't know who it was. I dropped her off in the trailer section, and then I drove off pissed off, went home, and then sat there, and then when I went back over to my mom's and I got the text messages that she was missing and shit, and it freaked me the fuck out because last time I saw Britney, I was flustered and angry.
I call bullshit.
What?
Listen, okay?
You guys are just looking for a confession.
Listen,
No,
okay?
I'm looking for the facts to match up.
What facts don't match up right now?
Okay, I think you know.
But I don't, I'm lost.
Do you think we've been doing nothing for the last week?
No, I think you guys have been working your asses off.
We've talked to a ton of people. Your name has come up a lot. And the conversations they've had with you, that your stories to us don't match.
And I don't know how that is, because literally everything I told you guys is what I've told everyone.
This is what we're going to do. Okay? We're going to step out of this room one last time. Okay? When I step back in here, I need you to tell me the truth. Okay?
So you're still expecting us to believe that you dropped her off and her body miraculously appeared where the condom and condom wrapper were by some strange freak coincidence?
I did not kill Britney. But imagine being in my position trying to explain this.
Well, we're trying to figure out how she ended up dead. Realize she disappeared on the 8th. You've been sitting on this knowledge without saying anything to anybody?
Because I've had the entire town of Spring Creek asking me if I've killed Britney.
And you might as well have if you didn't say anything.
So this is the story that you're going to stick with?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead, stand up and face that way. Separate your feet and put your hands behind your back.
On March 19th, 2020, Bryce Dickey was arrested and charged with the murder of his friend, 16-year-old Britney Ujlaky. Alicia and Jim were told an arrest was made, so they raced to the sheriff's office. When they arrived, Detective Stake came out, hugged Alicia, and said, "We got him." Alicia said that she couldn't believe it was Bryce. She said it didn't make sense and that it still doesn't make sense. James received a call from Alicia telling him that the police had arrested Bryce. He said that the news blew his mind. Britney's friend Selena said that it hurt her heart. She had a more colorful message for Bryce, whose phone had been seized by that time. She wrote, "You are a serious piece of shit. We all were there for you, cried with you, and all you did was play us all like a fucking puppet master." In the weeks following Bryce's arrest, additional evidence was discovered as the search warrants for Britney's and Bryce's Snapchat accounts returned. Snapchat memories from Britney's account show her and Bryce together after he reportedly dropped her off. The photos were taken inside of Bryce's truck. GPS location data placed Britney and Bryce within a few hundred feet of where her body was eventually discovered. Bryce's GPS data shows him traveling back to Spring Creek approximately 1 hour after Britney's last photo was taken. 2 years after Britney was killed, Bryce Dickey went on trial for her rape and murder. Jim attends trial every day to bear witness to his daughter's last moments and hopefully to see justice served. Jim said that he looked at every picture to the point where it almost killed him. Friends of Britney testified that she had rejected Bryce after he admitted having feelings for her. Bryce's girlfriend of 18 months at the time of the murder testified that he choked her during sex on 4 occasions. After a 9-day trial, the jury returned with a verdict after less than 4 hours of deliberation. Bryce Dickey was found guilty of first-degree murder and sexual assault. He was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 46 years. Britney's brother James said that if he could talk to his sister again, he would tell her that everything he's done since the day she passed has been for her. He said that the world lost an amazing soul. For more videos of cases never before seen on YouTube, click one of the videos on screen now or the links in the pinned comment. Goodbye for now.